So welcome to Stronger to the Core, our 5-day challenge. Today is day 1. I'm Stefana Johnson, a corrective exercise specialist and holistic health practitioner. And if you suffer from chronic back pain, this is going to help you so much. The Stronger to the Core means we're going to focus on the actual core of the body. So think about a pineapple, right? It has a core. And it doesn't just have a front core, it has a core that is at the center. And it's 360 degrees around the whole core, right? That is what we have as well. And most people mistake that they think the core is just the abdominal muscles or the front part of the body. That is incorrect. The core of the body is in the center of us. In fact, it includes the glutes, thighs, deep pelvic floor muscles, the waist muscles, so abdominal chain, yes, transverse abdominal muscles, the obliques. It also includes all the way up at the crown of the head. And when you understand this, it's going to make such a difference in how you move throughout your day, and that is going to impact that back. The back, unfortunately, has been doing the work of your glutes and your thighs and the abdominal muscles that haven't been on in that 360-degree view. So let's go back to the pineapple again. If we removed the core of the pineapple and we let the pineapple stay out on the counter, we would see that the scaffolding, maybe the outside shell, the skin, the bone, right? The scaffolding of that pineapple would stay intact for a little while. And then you would start to see it collapse in on itself, deteriorating. That is exactly what happens to our body when our core is off, not activated, and essentially removed. Our bones, our structure, our scaffolding begins to collapse on itself and deteriorates that much faster. So now, what we're going to focus on is creating an activation of your core. We're going to activate first, and then we're going to align. What I created in Yogilachi, which is my methodology for transforming the body in a natural way, I believe and stand for true health naturally, because your body is amazing and resilient when it's given the right building blocks and when it's used properly. So what we want to focus on here is the activation of the core today. I'm going to teach you a drawing in and up type of maneuver. It's a very simple exercise. I like to use it this way, and I'll say it in my class oftentimes. I'll say we're going to zip up pearls. So we're going to imagine that we have a pearl in our sphincter, in our booty sphincter. Okay, so that's a muscle. And we're going to grab a hold of the pearl. I'll show you as we go from the side. If I do not have my core on, you can see my structure collapses. But if we begin by taking that pearl and scooping it deep in the pelvic floor at the booty, and then I pull it up, pull it up, pull it up, I'm not doing any kind of acrobatic or weird things. I'm just activating my core from the inside out. So I'm scooping and scooping and scooping. And as I do so, it activates my core. And naturally, my body starts to come into this strong, aligned position. So those two go hand in hand. I believe that activation has to happen before the alignment. Because if we went and aligned the body without activating, we would just have something holding up, and then the body would deteriorate still from that. So we have to activate from the inside out. It is different than sucking it in. Okay, I get this question a lot. Is that I need to suck in my abs? Absolutely not. That's not what we're trying to do. So if I were to just suck in my abs, look what happens to my alignment. It's not about sucking in the abs or doing thousands of abs sit-ups. In fact, I never, ever teach sit-ups. Do not do sit-ups. I think they're the worst for back issues. We've got to activate the core in everything we do. So that means when you sit down in a chair, you want your core activated. So you sit down in a chair and get back up from a chair, your car, whatever it is. We're probably sitting 25 times a day, easily, probably more. But if you do that correctly and activated and in alignment, you're actually doing something better than doing a bunch of sit-ups to get your core strong. Core strong. All right? So you're going to be practicing that activation or drawing up motion. So we're going to draw up and in, scooping. And when I say scooping, I'm from the side. Let's see, my light's a little bit off here, but you can see if I draw up and in, it changes what's happening. And all of a sudden, my muscles begin to hug my bones. That's what I want for you, is your muscles to begin to hug the bones. Because your back is a joint. And if your back is having to hold you up by default because your muscles are not holding the bones, then of course that back is going to get sore. Of course you're going to wear out that joint. And because you've got this low back, and if that low back is having to work really hard, your body's going to try to compensate. So if you've ever seen after sitting, or if you've seen in the grocery store people with these C-shaped backs, it's kind of hard for me to do it because I have a natural J-shaped, overly arched back. But if you see the C shape, or if you have that yourself, then you've lost the natural alignment of the spine, and we want to restore that. So I want you to take your wrists and place them on your pelvic bones. Okay, so the two bones here. And then I want you to take your index finger and middle finger and place that on your pubic bone. Okay, so don't worry about the pooch, but all we're doing is we're getting to know where your natural neutral spine is, right? Everybody's going to have a different one, and you want to know what that is for you. So if I were to put, without alignment or without activation, I'm just standing here, and I put my wrists on my bones, and then I find the pubic bone. My pubic bone is further back than my pelvic bones, okay? So in terms of, that light coming through is hopefully you can still see. Let's see if it's better this way. Okay, so if my pubic bone is back here and my pelvic bones are here, you can see I'm totally out of alignment. So now, once I've gotten the activation, I want to start looking for alignment. And the alignment of the bones is really important. So we find the pubic bone and the pelvic bones, and we make sure they're on the same plane. Notice I'm not sucking in my tummy to get this. I have activated deep in the pelvic floor, my core, from my booty all the way up. I've activated my core. And then I've brought my pelvis into alignment. And that changes everything. Now, one of the things that I love doing is using the wall to check for alignment. So if you ever see a wall throughout the day, all you need to do is go over to it and check, are you in alignment? One of the things the brain is really good at is, even though you're here, it will correct inside the brain to think that you're in alignment when you're not, especially if this has become a habit. So train yourself to shift, and this wall work is called a proprioceptive exercise. So it allows the body to reorient with the brain, and the brain can go, oh, that's where I'm at? Oh, I had no idea. And then you'll walk away from the wall and you might feel like you're this way, right? But you're not, you're straight. So practice that today. Practice the activation of the deep core muscles. Very, very simple. All you're doing, it's not squeezing, it's not holding, it's not bringing everything in and sucking it in. It's very simply imagining you have a pearl at your booty sphincter. Sphincter is that muscle that is your booty, okay? This is really important also for just healthy organs down there, is we want to exercise them. We want them to be active and very, well, active. We want them to be activated. So we'll use that pearl. We'll bring the pearl up further. We'll bring the pearl up further. We'll bring the pearl up further. We'll bring the pearls up further. Up, 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 and in, up and in. I'm not sucking any breath in. I can breathe freely. Nothing sucked in, no holding the breath, free, but strong, because we've activated those beautiful deep core muscles. And that's the practice. That's the practice. So I often get the question, is this like a Kegel? Yeah, no. Kegels were, the gentleman that created this was to squeeze and release the deep pelvic floor, right? The yoni here. So I'm not asking you to do that. That would be part of it, but it's only one little part of it. We want to actually go from the booty and the front. You can do yoni as well, and scoop, 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 or you're drawing up. You're drawing up. You're drawing up, up, and in, and in. And this is decompressing the organs. This is decompressing all that compression on the spine. And as we do that and we get in alignment, you're releasing that compression on that low back, and you're activating the muscles that should be doing their job. And when you do that regularly, my hope is that you will do it on the hour throughout the day today. And check your posture so you can do a wall check. If you do that every hour on the hour today, and you just notice the difference, I would be surprised if you did not notice a significant difference in any kind of back issues that you might be having, back pain, chronic back pain, from being crouched or overuse of the back, because the muscles are now doing their job, not in a strainy way, but in an active way. And there it is. Okay. So I hope that helps. This is day one. That's the core. And then we're going to start practicing some specific exercises with this activation and alignment as we move forward through our next 5 days.